to start off the series between a couple of teams that are pretty evenly matched.
And two teams that pretty much went wire to wire. Terry Francona's Red Sox from May 1st on led the American League East. They had a little bump from the Yankees in September, but they're in the playoffs for the 4th time in the last 5 years. Here is the Angels starting lineup tonight. This has got some changes. Sean Figgins, their such valuable leadoff man and utility player, will be in right field tonight. Orlando Cabrera at short. Vladimir Guerrero will be the DH because of tendonitis in his right triceps. Garrett Anderson, a great second half as the cleanup hitter. Maicer Isturis will play third base. Casey Kochman at first. Howie Kendrick, Mike Napoli, and Reggie Willits will play center field in the absence of Gary Matthews Jr.
Josh Beckett on the mound tonight. As you can see, 20-7. The only man in the major leagues to win 20 games. The ERA at 3.27. He went over 200 innings again. This year he kept the home runs down, a little less than half of what he gave up last year. And as you can see, almost a 5-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Unbelievable for a power pitcher. Josh Beckett is that. He's got a couple of different fastballs, a great overhand curve, and a vastly improved straight change.
Look at those numbers. 20 wins in 30 starts and only 40 walks. And those are numbers to, we'll get a chance to chew on those a little bit early in the game as we see how the Red Sox align themselves defensively. Terry Francona told us tonight Coco Crisp's defense in center field he thought as good as any in the league. And Mike Lowell, his reputation unchallenged, a Gold Glove third baseman. And Jason Varitek didn't hit well second half of the year, but the anchor for the Red Sox behind the plate. And Figgins hits it off Dustin Pedroia's glove. And so Figgins in his first at-bat does just what the Angels need. And for Sean Figgins, who has not had great postseasons in his Angels career, this first at-bat he hopes is an omen of better things.
6 straight fastballs, and Figgins hits the 6th one right on the button.
Cabrera was just introduced. There goes Figgins. And Cabrera reaches out and taps one towards the second base bag. But it does allow Figgins to advance. Lugo having to play that ball in front of the base and gets Cabrera with Figgins moving.
If he gets a base hit, let him get it to left field, and it's short here.
There goes Figgins. He had a huge jump, and he is safe at third. Lowell will get Guerrero. Well, Figgins, he might have been able to steal that standing up. He had that big a jump on Josh Beckett. Now Figgins edging down, but eventually time is called.
Fans in Fenway up on their feet, looking for an end to this first inning.
He went around, and Anderson out swinging. Varitek will throw it to Youkilis to complete the strikeout. So a leadoff hit for Figgins, but Beckett pitches through. The Red Sox batting order, Dustin Pedroia having a marvelous rookie year, caps it off, leading off in the postseason with Kevin Youkilis second, then David Ortiz, Manny Ramirez, and Mike Lowell, the heart of that order for the Red Sox. J.D. Drew will bat 6, Jason Varitek 7, then Coco Crisp with 60 RBIs 8th, and Julio Lugo drove in 73, and he bats 9th. And Lackey starts Pedroia with a strike.
John Lackey had a great year, led the American League in ERA with a 3.01 earned run average. You can see 3.5-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, and he's got a fastball in the low to mid 90s.
That's a fair ball played by Maicer Isturis, and he throws out Pedroia. The Angels defensively, and the outfield here is the big question with Anderson left, but Reggie Willits, a rookie, playing center, and Sean Figgins, who has played some right, plays a tough right field at Fenway. Cabrera, a Gold Glover, played that caliber of defense this year for the Angels, and Mike Napoli is the catcher for John Lackey.
Lackey's really struggled in this ballpark. 1-4 a lifetime with an ERA up over 7. This year he's 0-2 with an ERA up over 8.
And Youkilis drives this deep left center. The outfielders look up, and it is gone into the monster seats. Second batter, Kevin Youkilis, puts the Red Sox in front.
Youkilis not known for big power, but he did hit 16 home runs this year. And he got a fastball on the inner part of the plate and hit it about as well as you can hit it. So 2 hitters into the game. The Red Sox take a 1-0 lead. But if you're struggling at all, this is a very bad lineup to struggle against.
And Ortiz goes to left field, where Astudillo was the only infielder on the left side, and Ortiz hits it against the shift for a 1-out single. And you can't see the logo on the front of the helmet because of the pine tar. That's my first rule change. Okay.
When you become commissioner, you work that into the repertoire.
A shot off of Astudillo. Karams to the field box seats behind third. And the Red Sox 2 on here in the first inning. And immediately John Lackey getting into the very hole he wanted to avoid.
Lowell has continued to drive in runs, 120 of them this year.
Boy, Lackey gets a big pop up here. That is huge for the Angels. Astudillo with the catch, 2 down. So when you talk about pressure here, little dribbler, Astudillo makes the quick play and gets Drew. Nicely done by Masir Astudillo. And Astudillo hits a chopper that Mike Lowell fields. On to Youkilis, and first man out in the second inning for the Angels. Breaking balls to Kochman, and he rolls it to Pedroia, 2 down. All right, so this allows me to ask you real quickly on that last play. Replay. It's been a topic this week. What do you think?
No, I don't like it. Don't like it at all. I like the human element, and more times than not, the umpires do get it right.
Kendrick out to left center, but Crisp, a good break on that ball, runs it down. And Beckett has now put down 6 Angels in a row.
Whatever he does offensively is a plus, but you can bet that this is probably as valuable a man as they have on this team.
And he rips one to right. Figgins to the line, plays it on one hop, and Varitek leads off the bottom of the second with a hit for the Boston Red Sox, champions of the American League East, winning the division for the first time since 1995. What a find in Dustin Pedroia, likely the front runner for American League Rookie of the Year. At the end, it ends up being another big season for Big Papi. And there it is, the Red Sox ending the Yankees division title run.
Well, in talking with Terry Francona about Coco Crisp, he says, I don't care if he doesn't get a hit in the entire series, because what he does for us in center field is chase down everything and play the quirky corners here as well as anybody in baseball.
And this will be Howie Kendrick doing it himself. 4-3 double play on a fast man. So John Lackey gets a big double play ball. Edgar Renteria, that didn't work. And there's Lugo with a base hit. That was a real sign of baseball today, wasn't it? Youkilis standing on the top step, practicing his swing, timing his swing again.
Well, this okay was a little rough. He could swing the bat real well.
There goes Lugo. So it's the Red Sox running, and oh, he's out. Lugo is out, much to the dismay of the faithful here at Fenway. And Terry Francona is going to be joining that conversation in a moment. Lugo can't believe the call. And now he's pulled away, and he'll let Terry Francona take up the discussion with Brian Runge. Well, it's part of the story. The Red Sox ran more this year.
Well, we'll look at the quick tag, and looked to me like he was safe at second base.
Welcome back to Fenway Park. What was that you told me, Stoney, about Mike Lowell has the best fielding percentage in third baseman in history?
And great first step quickness. That's what you need.
This is the first pitch of the inning on a shot hit by Mike Napoli.
Outstanding effort to his left, and he throws Napoli out easily.
Willits to left field. Manny Ramirez in that shallow set that Steve mentioned early on. Ramirez very shallow to make that play. 2 down. Great pitch right on the inside to eat up Figgins. Second strikeout for Josh Beckett. Here's a pop-up on the first pitch in the bottom of the third inning. Pedroia for Boston popping it up, and Cabrera for the Angels with the catch in shallow center. Is playing fairly shallow and right. And Youkilis pulls it to the left field line. Anderson was shading the line. He'll try to play this ball back in quickly, but Youkilis has a double.
There's an example of not pitching to the defense. When Lackey fell behind 2-1 to what Sox were the best in the American League percentage-wise at stealing. They were successful 80% of the time.
Right field toward the pesky pole, and Big Papi adds to his October resume. 3-0 Red Sox.
We told you coming in that the two guys this Red Sox order that just kill Lackey are Ortiz and Ramirez. You can add Youkilis to that tonight, and the Red Sox have the 3-run lead.
You talk about a guy that's decided he's going to own October. 9 career postseason homers for Ortiz.
Isn't lined up the way Terry wanted.
And that's what he said. And Lackey misses, so a good job by Ramirez to fight some off, and he works out a walk. Angels need their pitching to carry him. That's been a strength. Napoli has to carry him away, and Ramirez gets to second.
A good base running on the part of Manny Ramirez, and that's one of the real underrated parts of his game. He's not overly fast, but he has pretty good anticipation. This ball in the dirt, Napoli does a nice job of blocking it and actually makes the play a lot closer than it should have been. Ramirez takes off. A good throw to second base. And all Cabrera or Kendrick is waiting for is the hand to come off the bag, and it didn't.
Will be the biggest baseball story as soon as the Red Sox season ends. He is a free agent. Lowell to center field, and that will bring Ramirez around third. And he will score. 4-0 Red Sox.
And there was a great example of Mike Lowell not trying to pull the ball, taking it right back up the middle. Lackey's had some problems with the breaking ball. He's been rolling it. It hasn't been breaking real well. And Lowell drives in his first of the night. As you can see, that breaking ball was out away. It wasn't a sharp breaking ball, but it was out away from Lowell. You try to pull that ball, you ground to the left side. He just takes it right back up the middle. So the pitch in the dirt, the good base running play by Manny Ramirez, and then the RBI single by Lowell. And so far it's been all Red Sox early. Want to go to it in the third inning.
Ball hit to Kendrick and to Cabrera, and they turn a double play on J.D. Drew. Nicely done by the Angels to get John Lackey off the field. But the Red Sox score 3 in the third. Beckett just nasty. 97 for his third strikeout. A chance to talk to Red Sox pitching coach John Farrell. It's time to talk, brought to you by Charles Schwab, and we asked John about the first 3 innings of Beckett.
Well, Ted, I'll tell you, it's been consistent with his starts throughout the most of the year. His fastball command has been excellent, pretty much down the bottom of the zone, but I think what has made Josh Beckett successful this year is the use of his secondary pitches.
And John, last year he gave up 36 home runs. This year just 17. This is a guy that threw over 200 innings. And being a power pitcher, how do you explain a 5-to-1 strikeout to fastball ratio?
Well, he has a very rare combination of not only power, but certainly his ability to command the baseball. And that goes back to his athleticism and really the ability to repeat his delivery. And he's just been not only an ace, but a workhorse for us this year.
All right, John, thank you. Got a friend there.
All right, thanks.
That was Terry Francona tapping John Farrell during the interview as Guerrero grounds out. And after Sean Figgins opened up this game with a sharp single to center off the glove of second baseman Dustin Pedroia, 11 straight set down by Beckett. Who will start game 3 Sunday afternoon in Anaheim.
And one of the best big game pitchers in the history of this sport.
We'll find out how he pitches on 12 days rest Sunday.
Well, regular season doesn't jump out at you. It's postseason.
Now Beckett strikes out, and he had the Angels hitting defensively that whole inning. And Beckett puts the big hitters down easily.
Ellsbury, they're ready to go.
And finally on the 3-2 count, Izturis pops it up. So one of the better at-bats for the Angels so far against Beckett. Just no payoff for Izturis. As recent there is Larry Lucchino. And John Henry and Tom Werner, the ownership group that has done so much to change this scenario as Kochman goes down. And that's 5 strikeouts now for Beckett. And 14 consecutive batters retired.
Beckett has yet to walk anybody. He gave up the leadoff single, and that's been it.
And Kendrick hits a ground ball to Pedroia. The leadoff hit by Figgins to start the game, and then 15 straight put down by Josh Beckett. Pulled sharply right to Izturis. So 1 down.
There are tough outs. There are no breathers. There's a lot of guys with very good eyes.
Well, Youkilis just had his eye challenged there. Gary Darling. And so Ortiz draws the second one.
So far, no action at all in the bullpen for the Angels. None needed for the Red Sox. And the pitches are really piling up for John Lackey.
Ortiz will be, so to speak, in motion. And there's strike 3 called. And so Ramirez giving it to Gary Darling. That's 2 called strikes in the inning that angered the Red Sox.
I would figure even if he gets through this inning, this will be the last that he'll go tonight.
And that's sawed off bat on the breaking ball. Cabrera throws out Lowell.
Now, Drew is experiencing what a lot of guys before him have experienced that have come to Boston with a big contract, and that is a tough first year.
That's deflected, and that's going to get Drew a base hit. A tough play for a pitcher. If it gets by Lackey, it's probably an out. He deflected it, changed its course.
It's so important to become the 5th infielder when you let the ball go.
That ball played by Kochman to Cabrera. Lackey covers. Double play. That's the 3rd double play turn by the Angels rather through 6. Another ground ball. Lugo. And Cabrera is out. So 19 straight. That ball got a little too much of the plate, and Guerrero rips it. So the 2nd hit for the Angels, and that ends Beckett's run of 19 straight retired. And Anderson with a pop-up, playable for Lowell. 2 down.
Touched him in Florida in Game 3, and he was unbelievable against the Cubs that year.
Of course, here it is against the Yankees in the World Series when he ended up finishing the game. What a thrill. It's one thing to win a clinching game, but to finish it, and to finish it at Yankee Stadium. Izturis bat splinters, double play ball. Don't need the double play. 2 outs in the inning. And that takes Beckett through 7 shutout innings in Game 1 at Fenway. DHL presents an MLB delivery man. In relief out of the Angels bullpen comes Irvin Santana, who was a starter most of the year but struggled for for the Angels.
Santana only worked twice out of the bullpen. He did give up 26 home runs in 150 innings. And of greater concern, not real good on the road. 1-10 with an ERA over 8.
Crisp fouling this ball away, and so that'll be an 0 for 3 for Coco Crisp as this tourist puts it away. And Santana burns it on the inside. Well, you see the stuff right away, and you can see why Santana's year was a puzzle to many around the Angels. This guy's got terrific arm.
Good fastball on the inside corner. It's one of those guys that you take a look at. If you're a scout, he was drafted in the supplemental round of the first round, but his baseball IQ was off the charts.
And Santana puts him away. What an impressive inning by Ervin Santana that sends us to the 8th at Fenway. Still all Beckett. It's the top of the 8th at Fenway Park in Game 1. And the Red Sox lead 4-0 behind a dominant Josh Beckett performance, and he gets Casey Kochman on the first pitch.
We're going to take a look at either a collage of futility or a lot of strikeouts, depending on your viewpoint. Good fastballs inside. No chance at all for the Angels. That sinker away from Anderson. Great curveball. Beckett's just had it all, given up 2 singles, and that's been it. Has not walked one of these Angels tonight.
Eric Ibar on deck to hit for Mike Napoli. Wide of third and through. Got somehow squirted between Lowell and Lugo, so Kendrick has the 3rd Angels hit.
Well, that was one of the few rolling curveballs that Beckett thrown tonight. As you can see, it just comes up there, doesn't do very much. That's the first sign that a pitcher is starting to lose a little bit of that sharpness.
Pedroia. Lugo. Not in time to turn 2. Terry Francona making his adjustments as he sees Kendry Morales get in the box. So Morales is going to bat for Reggie Willits.
When Veritek goes out there to just refresh the memory of Josh Beckett on just exactly what Morales can do. You see Papelbon and Okajima. When we talked to Terry Francona before the game, he said he wouldn't hesitate to use Papelbon, preferably for 4 outs.
And that will advance Ibar. The Angels did get Figgins in the first inning to third base with 2 outs. So now just the 2nd runner in scoring position on a wild pitch. It's 100 pitches by Beckett. Francona sitting front center with a piece of that. Now Fenway rising, trying to make sure Beckett, as he did 8 other times this year, can finish the 8th inning. He had 1 complete game. Oh, and a great comebacker by Beckett. Breaks back across the inside corner for his 8th strikeout and 8 zeros for Josh Beckett. The Frank TV coming November 20th to TBS. As we go to the bottom of the 8th, and Kevin Youkilis, first ball swinging, flies out to the new right fielder Ibar, who stays in the game. And Ortiz out to shallow center. Figgins in, and the ball hangs up. Figgins runs it down. 2 away here with the Angels trailing in yet another Division Series Game 1.
Santana came in last inning.
Ramirez the pop-up foul, and this is playable for his tourists. So Ervin Santana retired all 6 men he faced out of the Angels bullpen. Now the Angels gather themselves for one last shot. Josh Beckett has only pitched 4 complete games in his career in the regular season. He's pitched 2 in the postseason, trying tonight for a 3rd.
Boston only had 5 all year and only had 3 thrown against them.
Figgins to left. Jacoby Ellsbury breaks in, and Jacoby Ellsbury makes Terry Francona smile. The defensive replacement just entered for Ramirez.
Ellsbury can play all 3 positions and has tremendous speed. And we told you that speed shows up in a lot of different areas. This is a good effort. Takes away a base hit attempt by Figgins, and that's a big first out. You don't want to get to Guerrero and Anderson with runners in scoring position.
Well, Figgins actually responded tonight. He had 3 good at-bats against Beckett with 1 hit and twice robbed of hits. Cabrera bouncing out on the first pitch. 2 down in the 9th.
Fans here in Boston on their feet. Almost 38,000. Seeing a gem of a performance, a 3-hit shutout by Josh Beckett. Well, the biggest addition to the Beckett that I saw in 2003 and the one I'm looking at tonight was the fact that he can make the ball sink in the mid-90s.
Up the middle, and Guerrero has his 2nd hit. 4 tonight. But that's it. 4 runners for the Angels.
Terry Francona told Kevin Youkilis to stay well behind Guerrero at first base. Give him second if he wants.
Guerrero runs. Fly ball. Coco Crisp. He is there. And Josh Beckett throws a shutout in Game 1 of his first postseason as a member of the Boston Red Sox. Still a very young man, and he's already thrown 3 postseason shutouts. And Josh Beckett is our Chevrolet Player of the Game in recognition of his outstanding effort tonight. Chevy will donate $1,000 to Major League Baseball's youth baseball charity, Chevy, an American Revolution. Gastone's only pitched 2 shutouts in his career in the regular season. He now has 3 in October.
Well, tonight he was able to bury that fastball inside to the right-handers, throw the good curveball away to the left-handers. The fastball was coming back over the plate. He didn't walk one of the Angels tonight. Josh Beckett in control from start to finish. A 4-0 shutout. Terry Francona, even in a long series, won't have a taxed bullpen. Everybody will come back fresh after the day off. But what a way to start it off for Beckett and the Red Sox. And they got all the runs early. They hit the ball out of the ballpark, which is what they do. And after that, it was pitching and defense that made it hold up.
Well, you had 2 guys who've established themselves in October. Beckett with a shutout, and David Ortiz with his 9th career postseason homer, and he's with Jose Mota.
Thanks a lot, guys. David, it seems like this time of year waits for you, and you truly delivered once again.
Well, you know, this is a short series, and like everybody knows, you got to produce at the time, and everybody, not a news, but for everybody that Lockie's a good pitcher, he got good stuff, and whenever you make a mistake, you got to try to get it.
And trying to get behind these fans and talk about your home run, the pitch that you hit, and were you looking for that pitch?
Well, everybody knows he had a good breaking ball. He liked to throw, especially when he want to get out of the situation, so you got to make up your mind.
Let's talk about playing at home. And Josh Beckett, did you ever anticipate, even though he is a big-time pitcher, to throw a shutout here?
I'll tell you what, man, that guy was very impressive. I mean, he been like that all year round, but I don't know what's going on tonight. Even watching him on TV, it was tough to hit him.
With a new format, off day tomorrow, coming back in a couple of days, does this benefit your ball club?
Well, I guess, you know, this is the end of the season, and you want to give some time off to your pitcher and the guys that have injuries, so I think it's a good idea.
Talk about the rest of the rotation set by Beckett, and now going with Daisuke, and then on Game 3, Kurt Schilling.
Well, definitely, you know, Beckett, he did a great job tonight. Like everybody know, Daisuke, he been pitching good, so hopefully he came like he was doing it lately. And nothing. Let's see what happens later on.
Everybody waits to see what happens with you. You get it once again. Thank you, David.